Here we are. It's time to rise. Here we are. To fight for right. If you don't wanna fight, then you best walk away. If you're looking for a fight, step right up to the plate. 'Cause here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. It's a ball. Are you ready to fight? Flip on the lights. It's Friday
At
night.
6 on this Facebook channel. You're going to want to check that out, and we're going to ask a lot of people to share that for us. We appreciate that very much. And the student section starting to feel the love here tonight as they are going to be celebrating a big victory here tonight.
To the plate. 'Cause here we are. Here we are. Here we are.
And the Eagles will begin to celebrate.
Here we are.
Coach, you ready to do this thing?
I'm ready.
All right, well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Nixa Touchdown Club Coaches Show. We're coming to you from Big Whiskey's right here in Nixa, and I got to tell you, Coach, I got to thank Greg and his team right off the bat because they have opened up their restaurant here for us to have our first season of the Coaches Show, and of course, here on Tuesday nights, the kids eat free, so we've been seeing a lot of youngsters running around, and got 20 TVs for all your sports viewing, NFL Sunday ticket. Of course, they offer brunch on Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 2. Catering is available, great patio seating, and I think a lot of times, I think Greg's had the ball games up here on Friday nights as well, so if you can't make it out to the stadium, so big thanks to Big Whiskey's. Again, and then also a thanks to our annual sponsor, Jenkins CPA here in Nixa. They are the presenting sponsor of the Nixa Touchdown Club Coaches Show, and we'll have a special message coming up from them in just a little bit. So before we dive into a recap of our successful week one, where we beat the Branson Pirates 42-6, you know, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Touchdown Club and the vision, the idea here, and if, Dustin, if you can pan over to this view right here, and Shannon, Vance, and Billy, we're going to wave to these guys. These are some of our original alumni from the Nixa football program. The idea here is to build more advocacy for the football program and to be able to basically help support you guys and come up with either fundraisers or get the community back involved in our football program. You know, our Nixa football parents, so they're here tonight. Outstanding. We got a bar full tonight, which is fun. Always a big support of the program, but we want to make sure that the alumni is also bringing back supporters, not only for just from the parent standpoint, but also coming from the community. And so if you want more information, we have our email address here on the list. You can follow us on our Facebook page, and we'll have more information coming out. Please be patient. We're working hard behind the scenes to continue to build that value proposition, but right now it's still in the infancy, and we're getting things launched, such as our Coaches Show, and hopefully down the road we'd love to have a Nixa Football Hall of Fame and those kind of things. And we're also big supporters of the Nixa Athletic Booster Club, and if you're not a member of the Booster Club, we encourage you to do that as well and get signed up with them and get a hold of that team, and you can follow them on Facebook as well, because when we do have donations, Coach, we actually write a check to the Booster Club,
Sure.
And then like we did earlier this year after the Cornhole Tournament, we presented you guys with $2,500.
No doubt, that was awesome.
All right, so let's dive into week one here, Coach. You know, I tell you what, I was sitting in the stands the other night next to Sherry Potts and I think Stacy and your wife and a few others, and right next to the student section. And when you walked on the field, I heard something I've never heard in my life coming from a football game. The student section was chanting, Perry, 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 which got the rest of the crowd kind of doing the same thing. Coach, if that's not a warm welcome to the Nixa football program for your first game, I don't know what else could be.
No, it was awesome. You know, I thought that was pretty cool. I know that, you know, next time it may be chanting something a lot worse than that. But Friday night, that was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty. I was pumped to see the crowd that we had. The student section was awesome, you know, and I know it'll be bigger and better this Friday night, but that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, of course, we'll be opening up at home this week at Eagle Stadium and unveiling the new stadium for our community to see. And got big plans. We'll dive into that in just a little bit. But, Coach, not knowing kind of what you're getting into with the COC, your first game was Branson. Branson can kind of be a hit-or-miss team each year, and this year they had a big tall quarterback, though. I mean, that kid was a big kid. It had a good arm on him. But what do you think were the keys to your win on last Friday night?
I don't know. I mean, one thing we were anxious to play a game because I don't have anything to compare it to. Like, I thought, that we're going to be pretty good, and I love our team and our guys, and, but not ever having seen Branson live or Joplin live or anybody, it's hard to know what you compare yourself to. So I was anxious. We were all anxious for that ball game, but I thought our kids played really, really well, and then Branson had a few kids out with the COVID, and that might have affected them a little bit, but,
right.
We can't do anything about them or what they got, but I thought our kids executed well. I thought they had fun. I thought they competed and, was really proud of the effort that they played with.
Coach, COVID or a sprained knee, what's the difference, right? I mean, that's part of football.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. So what I witnessed the other night of the game was something that was very refreshing, and two things. One, really saw you guys spread the offense out. And let's talk about the new offensive scheme a little bit without giving away too many secrets, of course, but let's talk about the new offense and how that impacted your performance on Friday night.
You know what? I mean, our whole plan, with me and Coach Wells and the rest of the guys is to use the entire field and try to make them defend the whole field, So the field's 53 yards wide, 100 wide. We need to use all 53 yards of it, and we're going to try. And we tell the players all the time, man, players make plays. So if you want the ball, make a play. You know, that's how you get another ball, So we're going to try to spread the field. We're going to try to utilize the talent that we have. And we got some talented guys. We got some really good wide receivers, quarterbacks, running backs. The offensive line has played absolutely great. After the first time I saw them, I thought about quitting that first time I saw them because it was rough. And you can ask, Coach Wells, that first inside drill with it was tough. But, man, those guys went to work, put their hard hat on, and have been absolutely marvelous. So our whole plan is to try to figure out, how to get first downs and use the whole field and get the ball to the guys that can make some plays.
Yeah. And I tell you, another thing was you had a sophomore quarterback starting, and we're anxious to get Reed Potts back behind the helm this week. But you got to be proud of what Austin McCracken pulled off. 4 touchdown passes last week?
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, he would have been, in my opinion, the player of the game. I mean, that was the best. That is the best that he has looked all fall camp. And he only went back there and started taking snaps about 2 weeks ago. So, we've been through a couple of scrimmages and practices, and, it's a lot to put on a young kid. But I thought Friday night he was absolutely awesome.
You came out right off the bat with that little fun trick play, and it almost was successful.
Well, you know what? Now,
there.
I'm not a BCDer, and I don't make excuses. But if you go back and pull up the film, we knew the ball had to be somewhere in the middle of the field. On the kick return, the ball was returned to the middle of the field. So we called the play, and where the officials spot the ball, if you remember.
Was it on the far side?
They put it on the right hash.
Oh, yeah,
so Ramon run out of room. Like, it would have worked, but, they really jacked us up. In Mississippi, they put it wherever you're tackled. You know what I'm saying?
Coach, it wasn't too long after that, though. You guys marched down the field, and I think we got a couple clips here to share.
Sure.
Set this play up here. This is the first play that we wanted to highlight tonight. I think it was a completed pass. Is that what we got?
You know what? This is some of this newfangled offensive stuff that those folks like at Alabama hate. This is a run play with the option to throw it out there. So, like, we've actually called a run play, but we've given Austin the okay if there's nobody covering the inside receiver to flip it out there. Like, take what they give you. And he flips it out there to Jackson Bray, who's a new guy, who has actually participated in his first football game since I think he was 3 years old. And I thought he played absolutely great. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a really big move in for us.
A lot of confidence with a young receiver right off the bat.
No doubt about it.
He picked up 7 or 8 yards, almost
great play.
First down right there.
Great play. And you can see on the end zone view, we're running a run play. And it would have been a good play if we'd handed the ball off. The offensive line destroys them. Look at the grass, but the quarterback knows he's supposed to throw it out there if there's nobody covering him, and he did his job.
Well, before we get to that play right there, hold on just a second. Let's go back to talk about a little bit about another strategy that I'm seeing you implement this year. I'm seeing players maybe play offense and special teams, but I'm not seeing them play both ways, which is very refreshing, knowing that you're able to bring those players off the field and have a conversation, give them some rest.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's hard to ask a Riley Childs to go out there and play 150 snaps. Like, that's not realistic. He's going to rest somewhere. So, that was from the very beginning. That's kind of what we wanted to do. Now, there's going to be times where he's going to come play some offense and we're going to get some snaps, but it's hard to ask a kid to do that. And if you there's a such thing as strength in numbers. The more we can have on the football team, the better we're going to be. And if we go out there and play the same 11 kids on offense and defense, we're going to have about 45 kids on the team. You know, and we want to have 80, 90 kids on the football team. So
well, and
it's the best way to do that.
I tell you, from a spectator or even a parent point of view, now, instead of grandma and grandpa, who is thinking maybe their kid might get in, right?
Sure.
No, they know their kid's going to play. It gives them
Sure.
more opportunities and I think it's going to build even more apathy amongst the students in the high school going, hey, you know what, let's work on football because
Sure.
I know that I'm going to have a chance to play.
Sure.
And, of course, you've got a job to put the best team on the field, and we know that sometimes means some players don't get to play. However, it was refreshing. I was sitting up there going, man, I got to learn all these new names. Normally I had to learn about 17, 18 names in a
Right.
season. Now I got to really learn as we get into Friday Night Football as we're
with
announcing it.
technology like it is now, you get to come to the sideline and watch what you just did. So you take a kid that's playing both ways, he never really gets that opportunity to see and correct himself in the game. So that's an added bonus.
All right, let's set up our offensive play of the week. And I think got a little fun view there. So what do we got here, Coach? This is the
it was
first
fourth
touchdown.
down and something, and we were honestly, we're on the verge of our kickers. Our kicker's brand new, and he's really good, and I think he's going to be an absolute, stud before he gets out of here. But this is a little bit at the outer range of his deal. So we call I actually sent him these clips in a YouTube video that I had Googled, and I said, man, figure out how to run this route before the next day's practice. So we fake a little slant. You see the defensive back bite on it, and then we get back behind him. And Austin does a great job
great touch
of
pass right
pumping
there.
him, trying to get him to bite on it. Then he throws it over, and, Smith does a good job of finishing the play right there.
Touchdown, Nixa Eagles right there.
Yeah, you're supposed to clap when you score, you know what I'm saying? That was a big play. I mean, that's fourth down. That's a big-time play, and that catch is a lot harder to make than people think, when you're sitting there waiting for it to come down, It is tough.
Is this another, no, that's just a different. Which play? We got another play coming in here. What do we
This is
have
going to be
here?
a defensive
Let's talk about
interception.
I know we're going to bring up Coach Wickwarn in a little bit, but tell me one of the most proud moments you had of your defense this last Friday night.
Man, the way they flew around and played football. I mean, they were aggressive. They had fun. They aligned correctly. Like, they just did things right, And defensively, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You got to line up right. You got to play with a really fast motor. And I thought those guys played really hard. And that defensive staff has done a fantastic job of getting those guys ready to play. And we've only had 4 weeks of practice. You know what I'm saying? So they've done a great job getting these guys up to par right now.
Okay, so defense doing a great job. Let's go back into what do you want to talk about in your defensive play on here? This is setting up looks like an interception.
It is an interception right off the bat. Which this young man Ben has had a outstanding fall camp. He was probably going in. He was kind of a question mark in some people's mind because he's not the biggest fella in the world. But, man, he does everything right. He's always where he's supposed to be, and he's right where he was supposed to be, and he picks that ball off, which sets up the offense on the 40-yard line, which is, pretty good.
I think we ended up the night with 3 interceptions. Is that right, correct,
Yes.
Coach? We had 3 interceptions. We're going to work on, in the future, hopefully having some stats for you as well as we, we're working on getting all of our systems in place. We can share some of the offensive and defensive stats with you, but I know we're going to this next play here. We're going to lead up to. I think you got another pass or something. You got to run, don't you?
We got a run play.
Yeah, I was watching this earlier. Your offensive line created that hole for this play that was really impressive.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we could have run this play every single snap. On the right side, they just all block down. They do a fantastic job. The left guard pulls and absolutely demolishes the defensive end. H-back turns up in the hole right there, and there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Ramon has a nice 15-yard run, that.
I know that watching the game from the spectator point of view the other night, watching the energy, something I saw on every defensive interception was something new. Where did this dunking the volleyball come from?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of shared that with Phil back. We had done that at Pearl, and it was a big hit, and I don't know that Phil was overly excited about it at first, but he decided to do it, and I thought Friday night, that it was absolutely awesome. I thought the kids really enjoyed it. I think the student body will get into it, and Coach made the garbage can himself, man. It's absolutely
I didn't know it was
beautiful,
Wickwarn. I thought maybe it was
painted it
Pearl,
up.
so very good. We're going to bring up Wickwarn coming up in a few minutes.
Very talented coach, but I thought it was, you think about this, like kids, if, that kid gives you that little extra effort to pick a ball off or strip a ball or take, because he wants to go over there and dunk the ball, I don't care what his motivation is. I want them to take the ball away because if we take the ball away, we're gonna win. You know,
Yeah.
so I think kids put a lot into this. We ask a lot out of them. So for them,
Did
to
you
have a
guys
little
like
bit of fun
that?
is
You like
okay.
doing that? It's kind of fun to dunk. Yeah, it's good. Riley got to dunk one. So
I think Riley actually missed a dunk or missed the ball
no,
or
he
something.
did not miss it. It went in. Outstanding. Well, Coach, we do want to get into what's going to come up this coming Friday night. We're going to hit that towards the end of the show
Sure.
tonight. Is there any final thoughts that you'd like to comment before we take a break here and hear from our sponsor and bring up Wickmore? Any final thoughts from last Friday night?
I'm gonna tell you my first thought is thank you for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming up with the touchdown club. Thank you to those guys for jumping on board. Building support happens a little bit at a time, but when it starts growing, you can make something really, really big. So I'm very appreciative of that.
Outstanding.
And I've been very pleased with our kids, our fans, our parents have been absolutely awesome. So it's been really good.
I can tell you right now, Coach, when we were sitting there the other night, me and your wife and the Potts family and the Jenkins, we're looking across the field and looking at the Branson crowd and then turn around and look at
Yes.
our crowd. I kind of think we had home field advantage.
No
don't you
doubt about
guys?
it. No doubt about
Yeah,
it.
it was kind of
We
cool.
had twice as many people as they had.
All right, well, Dustin, we're about ready to take a break from. We're back in just a few minutes. We're going to bring up Coach Phil Wickwar, but right now we're going to hear from our presenting sponsor, which happens to be Jenkins CPA right here in Nixa, and Vance Jenkins, a class of '91 grad and part of our Touchdown Club, one of the founding members here. So let's hear from our sponsor, Jenkins CPA.
We can fix that. We can fix that.
Are we back live? All right, we're back live here at Big Whiskey's in Nixa for the Nixa Touchdown Club Coaches Show, sponsored by Jenkins CPA. Oh yeah, hey guys, we're live, man. You guys over there. Hope you didn't say anything bad on live broadcast there, did you guys? No? Okay, good.
I don't have to do anything.
Well, you know how to do it.
Nope, I don't want to. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get it going here. So we're back at the Coaches Club here at Big Whiskey's, and we got Coach Phil Wickwar here with us. And Coach, I mean, I know that you wanted that shutout the other night. I saw you at the end of the game. You brought back in. I saw Riley come in. I saw you bring some of your other starters. I saw Stephen Ward come back in. You came really close. The JV had one big defensive play, but that wasn't the offensive play. But that wasn't the highlight of the night. All night long, your defense performed outstandingly. Tell me some highlights that you saw from Friday night.
You guys had touched on it, Chris, and actually that bringing that first team defense to protect the shutout will never happen again. I know better. I know better. I'm against that.
Right.
You don't want to risk injury. You don't want to risk ejection.
Yeah.
Not working with John a long time, I let my emotions get to me a little bit, so I apologize to my defense. But
That's
I was
okay.
just really proud of them. When you see your kids step up, we've had as Coach Perry has brought in, we have a culture that we're trying to establish on defense. It's play 111, understand you're 111,
Right.
being a part of something bigger than yourself. It is making aggressive mistakes. I've coached for 33 years, and I think when young men stop being aggressive, it's because they're confused, and so that was a big deal. Have fun with your teammates, and I thought we did a fantastic job about that. And then just their intensity and their focus, know what you're trying to do. So I was really impressed. I was very appreciative of how we got to the ball, how we read our keys. Keys make you faster.
Yeah.
And then how we celebrated with each other is definitely a group effort. And I thought that all 11 of those young men played about 13 or 14, played the best football I've personally seen them play. And that's a tribute to each one of them. They took the challenge and they went out and they accomplished it. And I think we're just beginning. I think it's just steps.
I mean, did Branson have maybe, I haven't seen the stats, maybe 125 yards total offense, maybe something like that?
They rolled up a few. They had two series. A lot of them were very short series.
Yeah.
They had two series. One was with, we were offsides on the punt, and it extended, and then we had a little trouble getting off the field, and then they won with the JV. But and which is good quality reps for those young men too. They deserve those reps. So.
Hey, one of the big plays that you had was our defensive play of the week, and you can set this up. We'll try to get a clip on here later, but basically, from my perspective, I thought the quarterback threw it. I thought I forget the player that ended up picking it up.
Dylan Nelson.
Yeah, Dylan Nelson. And Dylan Nelson made a great heads-up defensive play, pick 6. Tell me how you felt about that. You had to just go crazy. Big man getting in the end zone.
Yeah, defensive lineman's dream.
Yeah.
I had to watch that play. I actually got on the phone and talked to Coach Lund. We do statistics together on Sunday. We had to watch that play in slow motion, see what that was, a fumble recover, whether he stripped him the ball. But we gave him an interception. And then I thought he almost fell down twice. He was so excited. But I thought it was a great momentum turn. And I thought Dylan graded out one of our strongest individuals because he played with such a great motor. You know, like all of us, there's little things he can work on. But I thought his motor was absolutely fantastic, if not the best on our defense. And so I thought that was a little karma that he got a little.
I think this is another great play here. But this is Riley Childs. Yeah. And another great defensive play.
Riley had 2 turnovers on the night. We had a fumble recovery and an interception. So we had 5 on the night. We had 3 interceptions.
Yeah. Well, great. You know what, Coach? You got to be proud of your defense week 1. Of course, you got a big challenge coming up this week, and we're going to get into the recap or what Coach Perry's plans are. But defensively, how do you attack Joplin's offense?
Well, you start with trying or attempting to stop number 6, probably the best back in the state, running for one of the best offenses in the state. And they run a zone scheme. They run it 4 or 5 different ways. And we've just been working hard on our fits.
Well, that's, Joplin come off of a big win over Webb City. I think it was, 40-42?
Yes.
Yeah, so, they're going to be pumped up coming in here.
They've been scoring a lot of points.
And you know what? They're going to, we have 2 things happening. Of course, it's the inaugural game of our new Eagle Stadium and all the hard work that our school board has put into that to make that happen. And I think defensively, you guys have got a task, but I think the kids should be pumped and fired up and ready to play Friday night.
I think we're ready for a challenge, so I think there'll be some good football played on Friday night.
Outstanding. All right, well, Coach, I'll tell you what, we're going to bring up Riley Childs. If you want to bring up Riley and wipe down that mic for us real fast, so all that's good. And meanwhile, I'll give you another quick update on the Nixa Touchdown Club. You can follow us on our Facebook page, and that is located as the Touchdown Club. Give Coach Wickwar a big round of applause, guys. He got a great defensive week. But right now, again, if you want to join us on Facebook, we'd appreciate it. Like our page, share it, and if you want more information about how to become a member of the Touchdown Club, please let us know. And again, big thanks to Jenkins CPA, our annual sponsor. All right, with me right now is a guy that I've been watching play football for a long time. I've known his mom for a long time, and I used to say, whatever you do, just keep Riley healthy. And that was years ago when we worked together in a former employment. But Riley, I've watched you kind of grow through the Nixa football program. I started watching you on your sophomore year, and of course, watched you a lot last year, junior year, coming from the press box. It's been impressive to watch you develop into the outstanding football athlete that you've become. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
All right, so you've been with the program for a long time. Tell me the influence that Coach Perry has had on you in your senior year.
He's helped out a ton, He's showed us that hard work really does pay off, and helped us keep focused. With all the COVID stuff going on, he's really helped us keep focused on football, which is really nice.
So I know in the offseason you guys did a lot of leadership type programs. Were you participating in that?
Yep, I was at every meeting we had. It was really cool. We got to go over how to be a leader, which really helps us whenever we're on the field. We can talk and communicate really well.
Wow, that's really good. All right, so let's dive into one of your plays here. This is 2 plays that you had a great, outstanding game, lots of tackles. So where are you here? How are you reading this? Right now, you're really just become a receiver, it looks like.
Yeah, so whenever the play started, we knew that they were going to try to take a shot because they were down, big, and it was about to go in half. And so the whole time I was thinking, I know their number 10 is their big guy. It's the best player they have. So I was watching the whole time. And I knew as soon as he ran the out, I was like, well, they've been running that all game. Maybe he's going to try to go up. So I kind of played off a little bit, and as soon as I saw him turn up, I just went and tracked the ball down.
Riley, and you had a great, and of course the punt fake, that was a surprise. You went right direct snap to you, picked up a first down a lot more. How'd that make you feel as a player?
I felt good. I was ready to run the ball. I was a little nervous. I was going to drop the snap or something, but other than that, I felt great.
You had a lot of offensive snaps last year, and some a little bit at quarterback and some as a running back in that scat position. But now, how do you feel about just focusing on defense? You think that'll make you a better player?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It helps me to be able to play full speed the whole game, which is always nice. Because after at halftime, I felt good. Before normally I'd be all tired, but I felt good at halftime.
Outstanding. Well, Riley, we wish you the best of luck this year, and I think Big Whiskies wants to give you a free appetizer for an outstanding game last week. And we're going to bring up, give Riley Childs a big round of applause there. A great game for him. And we're going to bring up Smith Wheeler right now, another Nixa senior. And as he's coming up, I'm going to try to cue up a couple of his plays here. I know that he had a touchdown right off the bat, which ended up being our offensive play of the week. And we'll see if we can get that to line up here. But Smith, how long have you been with? I know Riley's been with the football program for many years. How long have you been with the Nixa football program?
So I started playing football back when I was like,
A little closer.
I started playing football like when I was a lot younger, but I actually took last year off and I did cross country.
Well, let's talk about that. What inspired you to come back out for the football program your senior year?
Well, I was actually sitting in math class one day, and Coach Perry just pulled me out, and he just started talking to me, and he was like,
Are you guys
"Hey."
hearing this? This is good. I asked him, I said, how did you decide to come? He took his junior year and did cross country, and I asked him, I said, how did you decide to go back to the football program your senior year? Tell the story again.
Well, I was actually sitting in math one day, and Coach Perry pulled me out of class, and he just pulled me in the hallway, and he was like, "You need to play football." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I don't want to get hurt." And he was like, "You can get hurt doing anything. You can get hurt running." I was like, "Yeah." And so we started talking more, and I started working with Reed, and then, sure enough, here I am.
Oh, that's a great story. Coach Perry. Well, hey, and you know what? You scored. So what a great story. So not only did Coach Perry pull him out of class, get him back in the football program, you caught the first official touchdown pass of his career as a Nixa coach for him. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah.
I was excited. I was really happy.
We're still working on the technical glitches here. I was trying to get the play to pop back up, but it's just not coming in. But that was outstanding. So, all right, so tell me about the feel on the offensive side. We talked to Riley, mainly defense this year. How is the team coming together on the offensive side, and how are you guys making it through all the battle and the pandemic and yet still coming together as a team?
Well, we're putting together a lot. Like we're putting a lot of extra work in, stuff that we hadn't done in the past. We're working, over weekends, just getting to know each other. And Reed, I feel like he knows each one of his receivers and what they're going to do, and what route they're going to run, how they're going to do it, and that's just probably the best thing in our offense. We're all really close. We're together almost every second of practice, and so we have really good team chemistry. And it's just a lot different because I feel like everybody's getting a chance, and it could go to anyone at any play. It could go to the running back, or it could go to any one of the receivers in any route. And Reed makes awesome reads, and it's going to be really good. I'm excited to spread it out too.
So we knew Reed was off last week, and I'm curious, as the receivers, as the offense, how did you guys rally behind Austin, the sophomore quarterback?
Well, so we started working like 2 weeks prior to the game, and Austin was so nervous the day of the game.
I wonder why. Why.
I don't blame him. I was nervous too, but I just had to, I kept reminding him. I kept telling him, Austin, you have to realize I'm a senior too, and this is my first time ever playing in a varsity football game. So I just tried to calm him down at any second I saw him during the game, and sure enough, he threw the ball up. We got it, and I was more happy for him that we scored that first touchdown just because it was his first touchdown.
I think I've got it queued up here, Dustin. Let's see if it'll play. We'll try to watch it in slow motion a little bit here. And we ready to go? Here we go. Let's see if we can get this to play for us. Basically, Coach described it a while ago. He said, go down, do a fake slant, and then go for the post,
it's called
right?
A sluggo or slant and go.
Yeah.
And he sent me that route on my email a couple days before the game, and he was like, I want you to learn this route. And I'd ran them before, but it was a bunch of videos of NFL receivers and how they ran them. And so I practiced it on my own. I practiced it with our guys, and it's all just about getting him to break and come inside, and then just releasing outside, beating him, and sure enough, it works.
All right, well, Smith, you got a big game this coming up Friday night. Don't let the name Joplin. You guys are the Nixa Eagles. Come on, it's a new season.
Right.
None of that stuff in the past has happened. Is old news. You guys are going to be ready. I'm excited about it. What are you excited about most about playing in the new and improved Eagle Stadium?
Honestly, I'm most excited for the relationships we're building just together as a team with our coaches. I can't get enough. I enjoy going to practice, which is something in the past that hadn't been something.
Enjoys going to practice.
I look forward to practice every day, looking to learn something new, and the preparation leading up even to Branson all the way to Joplin is just we're getting better by the second. So.
Oh, outstanding. Guys, let's give Smith Wheeler a round of applause. Outstanding season. Do me a favor, wipe down that mic for me real fast with that Lysol. Just wipe down that microphone with the Lysol wipe there.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to bring Coach Perry back up and kind of get into what's going to happen this coming Friday night. We do want to remind you The home game is Friday night. The festivities will be starting at about 6:30 this week. So you're going to want to get there early. If you are one of the people who bought some of the chair backs, I believe you have access at 5:30. Regular admission starts at $6, $4 a ticket. They are going to be asking that you wear masks as you're moving around Eagle Stadium. If you're walking in, going to the restroom, getting something from the concession stand, and if you are in the stands and you safe social distance, I believe at that point that you are encouraged you can take off your mask. So, Coach, come on back up, buddy. We're ready for you. So that's coming up this Friday night as it's the inaugural game. I know that the Nixa Schools has something fun planned. The Nixa Chamber of Commerce, which I'm very much a part of. We'll be having a good old-fashioned ribbon cutting down on the track, so that should be a lot of fun. And then there's a special thing happening around 6:45 as we do the national anthem. So that's our home game coming up Friday night. But, Coach, that's all the fun. Oh, Smith, that's for you. Big Whiskies wants to give you a free appetizer for being our one of our players of the week here.
There you go.
Big thanks to Big Whiskies.
That was a good visit to math class,
Man,
wasn't
that was a great visit to math
Yeah,
class.
yeah.
Holy cow.
it? Yeah.
I bet that math teacher was walking. What's he doing pulling out my
Well,
quiz, you know?
actually, the math teacher was Coach Lund. So
Okay,
he was
it's all right. It's Coach Lund.
He was okay.
All right, Coach. Big task
And
is
I would
coming
like to do
Friday
this
night.
before we.
Yeah.
I would like to tag on to what you said. Is try to get, the folks that come out to wear their masks, the
Yeah.
social distance.
That's
These
right.
kids have put in a lot of.
That's
they've
right.
put in a lot of work, and we are going through a lot of things to try to stay safe as well. Like you'll see our guys standing on dots on the sideline, spread out. So we do ask the fans to help us do their part
Yeah,
so that
I
we
agree.
can continue to play.
And we were up in the stands last week. And, of course, once we got in the stands, we weren't wearing a mask. But anytime that we were walking in, walking out.
Sure.
And I'll tell you something else that impressed me. Again, sitting that close. I never get to sit next to the student section. I usually try to avoid
Right.
them. But that's where Vance and Chance and they were all parked, so that's where I ended up
Right.
going. Watching one of the student leaders down there, she had a megaphone. And it wasn't a teacher. It was one of the students. And she's going, okay, guys, hey, you don't have your masks on. Put your mask back on. And she was encouraging them to do it the right way.
Oh, the kids have figured it out. They want to play, so they try to, wear their mask and they try to do things the right way because they know whether or not we get to play depends on that. So they've done pretty good about that.
Well, Coach, big task this Friday night. We're excited about it. Everything's brand new for us. We got the Joplin Eagles coming in town to battle the Nixa Eagles. That ought to be fun for me on Friday night in the press box, going first down Eagles, and then
Sure.
we'll just have to do Joplin Nixa, I guess. We'll
Sure.
try to make that work. Coach, I know you've been doing your homework. What can we expect coming up? I know you can't give away everything, but how are you preparing for Friday night's football game?
We're trying to figure out how we can corral that running back. The running back is absolutely fabulous. He's a 5'10", 180-pound kid that runs like a 6'2", 225-pound kid, but he's probably a 4'4" guy. So, we're going to have to do a great job of circling him up and trying to get him before he gets going. If he gets going, we're not going to catch him. He is super talented. They are big on the line of scrimmage. They got really good players. I thought they lost a lot off of last year's team,
Right.
but they lost a few good ones. But I think when you have a school of 2,500, you replace them with other good ones. So they are super talented.
Well, Coach, I know that region down there, when you look at Joplin, you look at Webb City, you look at Carthage, historically, they've had some pretty good programs coming out of their football teams. And, a lot of that's been kind of what they do behind the scenes. And, Coach, I think that's something we're not only excited about what you did this year, but how that continues to evolve.
Sure.
Where, again, I think our team can compete. I think they're going to step up
Sure.
to the challenge. I think they're
No
going to
doubt.
be ready Friday night. And how are you preparing your coaching staff to be their best on Friday night as well?
You know what? If you approach life from the standpoint of I want to be the very best I can be today and don't worry about tomorrow and don't worry about yesterday, it kind of works itself out. They're coaching their butts off every single day, every single minute to put the best product they can put out there. And we're going to have kids that are going to compete. They're going to go out there and compete their butts off, and sometimes that's good enough, sometimes it's not. But what we have to do is do the fundamental things that's good for us, and that's hang on to the ball, try to have some big plays, be good in special teams. The objectives that it takes to win football, that's what we're working on every single day. And that's about us. That's not about them. They have talented kids, but they have to hang on to the ball. They have to have explosive plays. They have to have big plays in the special teams. It's going to take all of that for them to beat us as well. So, and then I also was talking to somebody today, and they talked about, not too long ago, they weren't very good. They were a program that took it on the chin, and now, they've got a renewed life, and Coach does a fantastic job of coaching them jokers up. They're really well coached, and they're a good football team. we will have our work cut out for us. But anybody that's ever been a competitor loves to compete. You know, like I can't wait for them to get in there. You know, and let's see how our kids perform.
Well, we're excited about it. Of course, that's coming up this Friday night. And if you can't make it out to Eagle Stadium, you can always watch the stream. But, you know, we want a big crowd there. And, again, as coaches reiterated over and over and over, let's follow the social distancing rules. And even like tonight, you know, we're trying to stay spread apart. We're wiping down the microphones as the student-athletes come back up and as the coaches come back up, doing our part to be as safe as we possibly can. Well, Coach, I'm excited for our first home opener game. I know we got a lot planned for everybody. I'll be up in the booth hoping to do my best to bring some excitement. Of course, we'll have the girls will be going, and we'll have the concession stand. The cheerleaders will be there, and they've been working hard all season.
No doubt.
I talked to Mr. Finger, our band, the other day. They're going to have a snippet of their show this year, and they're still in development of that, but we've got some special things lined up for them. So it's going to be a good old-fashioned Friday Night Lights coming up this Friday night at 7 o'clock. And so you want to get there early so that you can get your seats and be a part of the early festivities starting around 6:30. Coach, any final thoughts? If not, I'm going to wrap it up.
I'm good.
Okay.
Go Eagles.
Once again, a big thanks to our host tonight, which is Big Whiskey's. And again, kids eat free on Tuesdays. You've been here. You know what it's like. We appreciate them shutting down the restaurant pretty much for us and hosting that. And, of course, our main sponsor, our presenting sponsor, which is Jenkins CPA. Find them on the internet. Follow them on Facebook. They've got several companies that they work with. They have been in business for over 25 years. I know both Heather, the CPA, and Vance are lifelong graduates of Nixa. They went to school their entire year at Nixa, or their entire lives at Nixa. Both participated in many things involving with Nixa schools and still do. Fine chamber members and have always supported Nixa athletics. So that's Jenkins CPA right here. Well, that's going to wrap it up from our first ever inaugural Nixa Touchdown Club Coaches Show, brought to you by Jenkins CPA from Big Whiskies. We'll see you Friday night at Eagle Stadium. All right, Coach, that's a wrap. We did it.
That's pretty good.
We good? We out?
Cookie